Hello, welcome to the Woodturning podcast. My name's Mark.
And my name is Will. Welcome.
And I am Gary. How you doing?
In this episode, Will and Gary talk polishing, and Mark's still not finished his workshop.
Right. Another one rolls around. Mark, what's going on with the workshop?
With the workshop, it's still. I can't remember where I was at last time we did here. I think I'd just done the outside. I don't think I'd started on the inside yet. So
yeah, you're talking about the roof.
Yeah, the rubber roof. So everything was finished on the outside. Everything's now insulated on the inside, boarded up, painted. Floor was painted to give it some protection. Almost everything's back in. Things like the tables sort of bolted down this time. They weren't before. They could scooch them across the floor, which was never a good idea. Lathes are bolted down this time as well. Last time, my big lathe was held down by a couple of toolboxes in an attempt to stop it from walking off. So this time it's bolted to the floor. Hopefully it doesn't unbolt itself. And I've almost finished the extraction. Last bit is the extraction. Once that's done, it will be finished and tidy.
Wicked.
5 minutes.
So is the dining room clear now then? Or is it the kitchen?
No, it's an open pan kitchen diner. The kitchen is clear. There was stuff on the kitchen worktops. That's all clear. But no, there's a few bits. They're the really silly little things that you've got to find a home for, but you're not entirely sure where they're going. I've been really ruthless. If I've not used it in over a year, I've been throwing it in the bin.
Yeah, good idea.
I've just been clearing. Because it's all well and good going, oh yeah, I'll keep that just in case I need it. But if I really need it, I'll just go and buy it.
Yeah,
and I haven't needed it yet. So the likelihood is I'm not going to. Although saying that, I threw away some silicone removal stuff, gunk, day before yesterday. And I stood there at the workbench today going, I really wish I had some silicone removal chemical. I've stuck some bits together with the old extraction system. But
so if you use the rule of if you ain't used it for a year, get rid of it. How many chisels did you throw out, right? Because surely we build up this fucking set. We build up this set of chisels, and inevitably we end up with our new little favourite set, and some of the others just never get used again, do they? And then every now and again you suddenly think, oh, I ain't used that one for ages. I want to go back and use it.
See, I won't throw away chisels because if I do tend to regrind them if there's a specific job that comes up that I need a chisel for. So with the lace bobbins, I do a captive ring lace bobbin. So the captive ring tool had to be made rather than bought to do a captive ring that's only 5mm in diameter. Tiny.
Sorry.
I had to repurpose a parting tool. So I reground a thin 1/8" parting tool into the captive ring tool. So it's always worth keeping hold of old tools because you never know when you're going to need that. And also, if you've got 2 or 3 roughing gouges and you're going to inevitably run out, you sharpen them up, you're going to run out. So you might as well keep them as spare for when you instead of buying a new one. But no, so they've all been kept. But yeah, there's some tools up for sale. Things like a first fix nailing gun. I am never going to need a first fix nailer as a wood turner.
Not unless it's gone very bad on the lathe.
Right, yeah. Just nail it to the wall as threatening punishment. No, and I've sold. I had 3 bench grinders. Why do I need 3 bench grinders? So I sold one. Turned one into a polisher. One's my sharpening station, and the other one was sold. So I've been quite ruthless with it, and I haven't finished. So yeah, I've got a dining table coming Saturday. I'm up in London. What day of the week is it today? Thursday. I'm up in London tomorrow, and then finishing up Saturday, getting the table in and everything Saturday.
A dining table?
So,
go in a dining room that you've been using as a temporary workshop storage.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be strange having a dining table in a dining room. But
what was in there before you put all your tools in there?
The living room.
Not a dining table.
No.
Oh, you've changed it.
Yeah, so my brother was living in what is now the living room. We were very full in the house. It's only technically it's now a 4-bed house.
Yeah.
But one of the
What's he now
bedrooms,
going to be sleeping in a new workshop? Is that why you've had it made bigger? Because he can sleep in there at night.
genuinely, the workshop is better insulated than the loft conversion. It's nicer in the workshop than it is in the loft, which is where my bedroom is. So, yeah, if all goes Pete Tong, I can just go and roll out an air mattress out in the workshop and go stay out there for a couple of days. But yeah, it's almost there. I'm so thankful it's almost there. But I'm so grateful to all the support and the help I've had putting it together. My brother-in-law was round at the weekend. He was helping me put the workbenches together, moving the table saw and the fan saw and the big lathes and things, because they weigh a ton. So I had his help getting those bits in. My cousin came and helped me for a couple of days when I was doing the insulation and the framing and the roof boarding. Because again, lifting an 8x4 sheet onto the 2.5 meters up onto a ceiling, can't do that on my own. So he was just standing there with a stick holding them up. But to be honest with you, that's all I needed. So
do you have a cost update you want to share?
A cost update?
Yeah, because last time you'd run out of money.
I had run out of money, and we went and got some more. We've now a conservative estimate. It's cost me 13,000.
That's not too bad, to be honest, given what you had done.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all materials.
Yeah.
Because Paul didn't charge me a great deal for labour, because I did a third of it anyway.
Yeah.
The insulation was, I felt, pretty reasonable, but that was still 600 quid. The boarding was nearly, again, 750, 800 quid for the OSB and the plywood. And then the electric, the electric's 300 quid, and then ducting for the extraction, that cost us 300 quid. So, yeah, conservative estimate at the moment is hitting about 13.
Yeah, it's not bad, to be honest. It's less than I thought it would be anyway.
I haven't finished. Just waiting for the next Amazon sale.
Prime Day. Another Black Friday.
Another Black Friday coming up. Well, that will be rolling around in October, I think, October, November. But I want its own alarm system. Currently, at the moment, it's piggybacking off of the house alarm. So I'm going to get myself an up-to-date smart alarm system for it, and I want a couple of cameras dedicated for the workshop, because again, it's I've got cameras watching it, but I want proper cameras for the workshop. I was looking at perhaps getting the Ring ones, so I can see wherever. It's just I've spent all this money and I've got all that money in there. It's got to be, and it's little things have left to buy. I need to buy a fire extinguisher. I need to buy a fire alarm, and I need to buy a first aid kit. To be
non-essentials.
Non-essentials, yeah.
Non-essentials.
I'm only 2 meters from the house.
Just turn the fire extinguisher and paint it red, right? Just it'll make you think you've got one. That'll be enough.
Yeah.
Take a couple of pints of water in with you.
Every time.
Have a fire bucket on the side. Because it's been very publicly done, I've had stories over all of it, and so many people know about it. I need it to be within code.
That's why you bolted. That's why you bolted the machines down this time, right? So it'll take them ages to get them out.
And why I've gone over the top with the extraction, because it's my workplace. It's where I spend 10 to 12 hours every day. So. It's one of those. On the subject of spending a huge amount of time inside, I'm going to get anti-fatigue mats eventually for it. But you know, when you shit through Facebook Marketplace in an evening, you're just scrolling through, and this local council was getting rid of excess children's playground, the recycled rubber floor that they laid down, which is mixed with a resin. Oh, I don't think bought that.
Oh, really? Cool.
Very nearly bought that.
Oh, nearly bought it.
Nearly bought it. They wanted 1,500 quid, and I thought that was a bit
Yeah.
justified. But I just thought, I figured there was enough there to do the whole floor. The floor is 24 square meters. And I thought there might have been enough in that to do the whole floor. And I chatted to Lauren about it, and she turned around and said, "That's all well and good, but if you put it around your tools, you'll never be able to move the tools if they ever break or you need to get access to underneath them or whatever."
True.
And you don't want to put the table saw and things on top of it.
No.
Because then it will be bouncy. So yeah, anti-fatigue mats are just going to be easier. So I've got to get that sorted yet.
They're quite expensive in themselves, though, aren't they?
I'm not precious about what they look like. So I'm currently searching Facebook Marketplace for the children's foam large jigsaw squares.
Yeah, I know, like the hot tub ones.
Yep, that's it.
Mm.
Because I'll be able to pick them up dirt cheap. It's only a workshop. They're going to be trodden on. They're going to be covered in crap, finish and dust.
What are they? And anti-fatigue tiles.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, I know what you're talking about, the kid stuff, just like that sort of foam, sort of like, I don't know, 10, 12 mil thick, right? And they just go together. Well, that's supposed to be anti-fatigue, is it?
No, they're not. They're better than having solid concrete. The anti-fatigue mats are denser foam, much harder wearing. Normally slightly thicker as well. They're normally
the ones I'm just thinking about the ones that got to work, and they're kind of like they're open.
Yeah, you can get open ones.
What do you mean open?
So it's like a grid.
It's almost like a mesh, if you like.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You tend to find them in garages and things as well. The open ones. I just figured that would just fill up with sawdust.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It'd be a bloody nightmare.
But you can get solid ones, and they've got like the checker plate pattern on them, and they come in a myriad of colours as well. So I could, if I, red and blue check pattern or something on the floor. But where they're slightly thicker, they interlock more securely, and you get edging strips and whatever else. So, but yeah, they can be quite expensive. Quite happily to the tune. How much wasn't recording? I've just had the recording sign come up.
It was on. Come on, mine right at the start.
I've been recording for 30 minutes.
Oh right, okay. So where they're slightly thicker, they interlock a bit better. So I'll be able to work them around various bits and pieces. So, but yeah, they can be quite expensive. You could quite happily be looking 25, 30 £30 a square meter.
I'm just looking now. Yeah, I've never heard of them before. I'm just looking at them now. Nice.
So it's one of those, in a year's time I'll get them. Depends how I feel. If I get to the end of a day and I can't walk, then maybe it's time for anti-fatigue nets. I'm not worried about the paint on the floor because it's had 3 layers of garage floor paint, so that's not gonna worry. But
very good.
Yeah.
So when's official D-Day then?
Well, about a month ago should have been. No, with the little amount I've got left, I'm hoping Monday, Tuesday it will be completely finished.
Wicked.
So next weekend, I think we're due to have some guests next weekend, so they can help me celebrating it. But it will be open to the public as well, so it's got to be kept tidy. To answer your question the other day, Gary, I will be having people come to the workshop to buy things. Mum starts teaching as well soon in the house, so things like ladies are going to want to buy. Well, and gentlemen, they're going to want to buy supplies and things, so they're going to come out to the workshop. So I'm going to have a little pay station set up for people to buy things, and I'm going to try and have a little display cabinet set up.
Good idea.
To have some of my stock. So it will be open for public viewing.
Make sure that display station's got dust-proof doors on it or something.
Yeah.
And made of very tough glass.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't break a window before. and I only had.
Why did you say that? Why
I
did
know,
you even say that?
as I'm saying. But I tried. I really did try and break the glass in the old window, and now I have more windows. But made a little bit of a miscalculation in the window where the Vitasaur station is. The plan was that I could open the window and anything long will go out the window for me to still use it on the Vitasaur. Yeah, it didn't happen. The window is slap banging as it fully open. The spine of the window is slap bang in the middle of the Vitasaur.
Nice.
Right. And then I've only got about 2.5 meters in the other direction before I hit the table of the bandsaw. So I've got just about 3 meters in total. But if I need to cut something at say 1.10 m and it's a 3 meter long piece, it's got to be done by hand. So got to plan cuts a bit more
Cool.
going forward. It's almost done. The workflow's better. I've got more space in there. I can walk around without clouting my hip on a table saw or knocking clamps off the wall or something like that. So yeah, it's a massive improvement, and hopefully in the middle of next week I can crack back on with the orders that I'm outstanding.
Yeah.
And get back on with it. So what have you guys been up to recently, Will?
Yeah. You want me to go first? So
Oh,
I've got an update on the never-ending Malibel and resin vase that I talked about last time. That I'd finished it several times and then messed it up.
is this the one that you put the poll up for on Instagram or
Yeah,
Facebook?
it was. Yeah,
where you asked
yeah, it
people's
was.
opinions.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. And it's nearly there. And you know what I ended up doing? I ended up putting it up back on the lathe, reshaping it, and then just polishing it, and it's come out absolutely bloody perfect. So I could have
Nice.
saved months, just by polishing it with the Mazerna stuff.
How much did you take off it when you reshaped it?
Not much. I just took all the coatings off there. So I had a flood coat on there, and then I had some lacquer that I screwed up. And then I cut that back, lacquered it again, which I screwed up, which I cut back, lacquered it again, which I screwed up. And I did that several times. And in the end, I just thought, right, okay, I'm so fed up with this thing. I'm just going to turn it again. We'll start again from scratch. And actually, within 5 or 6 hours, it was like absolutely bloody perfect. So all I've got to do is part it off now, and it's ready.
So we're going to see outtakes on your next video.
Oh, I never did the outtakes.
What out of interest, what Mazerna do you use?
I've got the polishing compounds. I've got it's the brown one, which is the they call it the deep cut.
Has it not got numbers on it? Like
yeah, I've got the numbers. Yeah,
2000. I saw they do various, even like 2,400, 2,600, and whatever. But it's like the way I sort of read it, it's almost I got 3, and it's almost like they call them steps 1, 2, and 3, and that's 1,000, 2,000 and something, and 3,000 something, and then do this other thing that puts another coat of stuff on it on the end, like polish or whatever. But yeah, I just wondered.
Is that the liquid stuff though you're using?
Yeah.
So these are the compound bars that I'm using.
Oh right. Oh okay. Yeah. Mine's the just the liquid. Yeah.
I use generally 3. So there's a heavy cut. It's called. The heavy cut, the medium cut, and it's pink, and that's awesome stuff. And when I did some research, I know not many people use it, but when I did some research, it looks like it's like aimed at resin, and actually it does a lot of wicked job. And then I've got like a super fine, but to be honest, that medium cut, that pink medium cut comes out pretty decent, to be honest.
I just thought actually, yeah. So I've got some bar sort of compounds, like you say, the block stuff. And I got that off of old Tiny Turner when she come to Sandon. What she does, because you generally buy it in a block, and it's like it will last you literally years.
Yeah.
She and it's quite expensive. She cuts them up into, I think, thirds, right? And then you can just buy thirds off of her. So it's like you can get all 3 but in a smaller chunk. So each chunk's about that long.
I found a website
See that?
called.
That one.
Yeah, that's the three I've
yeah.
got. Is the other one? Yeah, is the fine one yellow?
Yeah, the fine one's yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they've got a gloss wax, white, yellow, some creamy coloured one, and brown. This is from the polishingshop.co.uk.
Yeah, I was
They
just
do the
going to say,
half bars.
yeah. Go to the polishing shop because they are cheap as chips.
That's where I got all that other Mazerna fluid, and the reason I got that there was because I'm going to do that table thing. So on the lathe I use the compounds and put them on a buffing wheels or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to use those on a flat table. But yeah, my middle one's like a whitey sort of one.
Yeah, okay. It's
Medium one. But you don't put much of that on.
Yeah.
With the tables and things, you want the liquid.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to be like a
exactly. That's
top.
that's what I got on.
The liquid's better for the flat surfaces. It's what I used to use on the chopping boards.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Okay. So when you reckon you're going to release your video? Oh, it's not quite finished. You said.
No, so that'll be done. That'll be done at the weekend. But I've already got 3 filmed. Yeah, I've already got 3 filmed. It's just the time to edit it.
Yeah.
Because I've got plenty in the bag. It's just the monotonous editing bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be done this weekend.
Cool. Have you been? You must have been chipping away at some other stuff as well.
Yeah. So I stuck out. I think it was last week. It was last Thursday. It was a week ago. So I'd normally post on a Thursday. So I put something out on YouTube, and that was another scrap project with some walnut shells in it. Because the first 2 I've done with the scrap would have done really well, so I thought I'll put another one out. I'll just do one more, and it just flopped. It just hasn't got off. It just doing nothing. It's still sitting at the moment around about 250, 260 views, and it's going nowhere. And I'm gutted because it took a couple of months, 6 weeks I suppose, to do it, and it's quite nice. It's all right.
I'm just looking now. There, I can see one of your scrap that says 7 months ago, and one that says 3 months ago. One's more like a bowl, and one's a vase with the shell.
Yeah, there's another one on there.
Oh, is there?
It's titled "Turning Scrap Wood into Art."
Yeah.
You're selling yourself short. It's got 282 views.
282 now, is it?
Oh, that one.
It's just
281. Oh,
yeah.
That must just be you then, Mark. You
just
popped it up one.
It's currently playing for you. I've already seen it. I've seen it and everything on Facebook already. So I just thought I'd leave it running in the background while we're having a chat. I've already done your comment and your like and everything on it.
Thank you very much.
I just
helps literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what I've done to upset the algorithm there, but
well, I've gone the other way with the algorithm. Are not your numbers, but they are only shorts. So the last full length video I got did 201 views. In 103 days. But I've released 2 shorts in the last 8 days because I release on a Wednesday evening rather than a Thursday. Last week's was 463 views, and yesterday's one is 510, and they're a lot better. That's good for they're good numbers for my shorts.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I know they're not your numbers, but
I know YouTube gets the ump with you if you don't post regularly, and I haven't been posting regularly. That's for certain.
That's because you keep putting too many layers of lacquer on things.
Yeah, I keep screwing it up too much.
Is Facebook the same from that point of view? As in, it doesn't like regular, or do you find that Facebook is still pretty consistent, or is it similar?
It's consistent as long as you are.
They're different. I found they're different audiences across all the different social medias. This came up in a conversation on Folk and Bespoke's chat the other day, So when you look at, I've been looking into this a lot quite recently. So the people we get on YouTube, they expect longer format videos on YouTube. They'll happily sit and watch a longer format video, and shorts are relatively new to YouTube. So they're not. It's not like the reels and everything we've had on Instagram for longer. So a longer 5 to 10 minute video, but anything over 20 minutes, YouTube doesn't like it. They just sort of, no, you're going to be boring people.
That is a long time though. That
It
20 minutes.
is. But I watch videos on YouTube well in excess of an hour.
Yeah, and I do too.
Depends on its content.
Yeah.
When you flip over to Facebook, and this is gonna sound awful, but it is a stereotype, and there's always exceptions. But the population of Facebook is mostly the older generation. They've had it for years. It's been around for years. They're used to it. They've got their friends on there, and when they've got 5 minutes, they'll sit and watch a video. But they won't sit and watch a full-length video like they would on YouTube. It's got to be shorter. It's got to be a couple of minutes because they've got a couple of minutes while they're drinking a cup of tea, or they're sitting having their breakfast or something. They'll switch onto that.
Yeah.
When you go to things like YouTube and Twitter, that's the next younger generation down. Instagram and Twitter. That's sort of the next generation down. And then the kids are using TikTok. And if you want to get the views on TikTok and Instagram now, you need to create a reel which lasts 2 seconds. But the text on the reel must keep someone reading for 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And what happens, that reel is continually playing in the background, and it on a continuous loop. But you're still viewing the text. You're trying to read the text on the front. 10 seconds later, they've had 5 views.
I find it. I mean, I do all my stuff on Instagram and TikTok, so I just repost it and try and change a tiny bit, right? And I find that if I put little prompter texts through the video, then you sort of like get that bit more interaction. It's like if you're doing things like, what do you reckon it's going to be? Or, here's the lacquer, or here's the sanding, here's this, here's that. So it's just like popping up. It almost feels like it just holds them for a little bit longer and a little bit longer.
It does. And that's where you see a lot of them where you go and wait for the end.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. You think,
Yeah. But it might be the one where it is worth waiting.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I've been using Instagram and TikTok for ages now, and I did set up a YouTube thing for Danbury Wood Workshop, but I sort of put one on it ages and ages and ages ago, and I haven't done anything since. And I keep meaning to put stuff back on it, and I went to go to do it literally about 3 weeks ago, and I logged on and it said this account's been disabled.
Yeah, deactivated. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And it was like, it's been deactivated because of it was potentially done as a fraudulent thing or via a bot or something like that, right? And it said you can do an appeal process. So I'd done the appeal, and then they come back to me and basically said, no, this was sort of, dodgy, so we're not recreating it. And I was like, for God's sake. So I've now had to create a new one. And because you've got to use Gmail, obviously I took the Danbury Wood Workshop thing, and now that bit's screwed. So I've had to revamp it a little bit, but I've got a new one now. So I can just, I know there won't be the best looking format, but I can go and get my stuff off Instagram and whack it on YouTube, can't I?
Yeah, you can put it on as a short.
It's just going to be, put it on as a short.
Yeah,
YouTube will do it automatically.
Put it on short.
Yeah, YouTube actually categorizes it automatically for you. So,
right, okay.
To give you an idea,
my stuff's had to be a minute and a half. Actually, is that going to be no good then?
No, it will still put it in the right place.
I'm not sure it will.
No, it will put it as a full video.
Yeah, put it as a full video.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it won't be seen.
Can you make like a short, as in like a snippet of a full one, and then could you see that thing where you go, if you want to watch the whole thing, go here?
Yeah, that's what
you can do that then, right? So put them on there, and then if they're over a minute, it won't go to a short, but create a short off of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So next week's short that's being released is the end part where I do the product rotation for the plate I did in January, and that video was released in March. So that's got, you know, when you have in the top corner, you get that little, to see this video here. I've put that link to the full video.
Yeah.
And then, so to give you an idea, one of the video on YouTube got 400 odd views. On Instagram, it's had 1,400. But my highest view count on Instagram recently, I say recently, obviously I haven't been posting that much, is the one of the cement mixer. That one.
What?
Literally, that is all it is. It's, I don't know, 3 seconds of a cement mixer going around in circles, right?
How many views did that get?
Right. Hang on, let me pull up its analytics. Oh, hello. I'm in the wrong setting. That had, for some reason, it's got a shipping thing for it. So it's had 3,000 plays, 16 likes, 2 comments. It hit 87% of the views were non-followers.
Yeah.
Initial plays 1,206. So it's been replayed.
Yeah.
People are sitting there watching it. It's had, bearing in mind that the average watch time on it is, what is its actual watch time? The actual duration is 6 seconds. Average watch time is 3 seconds, and it's had a grand total of 1 hour and 11 minutes of play for a 6-second video. It's stupid. What? I don't understand. It's rubbish. It is literally. I videoed it because I knew that it would do well, and I'm fairly sure if I still had that video and I put it on TikTok, it would do well over there as well. But
I don't know if you saw. I think you saw it, Will. I've done one. I was having a fire the other night, and I just put a random one of a fire, and you know that got nothing major, like 400 or something. But one of the other ones I've done a few weeks ago, I was actually turning something in the workshop or the garage, and when I came in to get something, and I went back down, and it was like pitch black or whatever, and I saw something on the stones. I thought, what the hell was that? And I looked down, it was like a frog, like jumping across. So I thought, it was a frog. So I
frog?
Yeah, so I brought it in and literally had it on the video, and then so I included that on the video and put that as the still picture, and that had like over 3,000. It's like the frog was the draw, right? That was the draw. It's like yeah.
So
but just
when you're on YouTube, one of the advantages of the longer format video on YouTube is you can replace the what do they call it? The initial the
thumbnail type thing.
Thumbnail, that's the word. Yeah. So you can change that on the full length video, whereas you can't on the shorts. It picks it for you.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's right. Yeah.
You can do it on TikTok. It's quite and Instagram. You do it on both of those.
Yeah, but you can't on YouTube at the moment.
Right.
I'm sure it's something they might well bring in, but on the longer format, it's actually required that you make a thumbnail picture for the algorithm to pick it up and go further with it. So you've got to create a thumbnail. You've got to have comments. You've got to have
really
video
thumbnail on YouTube.
Yeah,
important.
The algorithm
spend a lot of time on the thumbnails,
and that could well be where your last video hasn't done very well. But the thumbnail is exactly the same. As your others.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, no idea.
Because it's normally just the finished product on the lathe, your thumbnail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the good thing about TikTok is when you're doing a thumbnail for TikTok, it's got a slight little sort of boomerang that it goes back and forth on that. Whereas on Instagram, it's a still.
Yeah.
Whereas on TikTok, it's got that slight. So sometimes just something in there, because it does that little back and forth, looks quite good because it's doing that.
Yeah.
So yes.
YouTube has got a new one where you can trial different thumbnails before whilst the video is live.
Yeah, you got the A/B test. Yeah.
That's a beta system, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can put 3 thumbnails on there, and they'll show all 3, and they'll
tell you which one's doing the best.
They do that on Facebook as well.
Do they now?
Facebook, yeah, you do that on Facebook.
Is that via the Meta?
Through Meta Business Suite, yeah.
Business Suite.
Mm.
I don't use that very
Interesting.
I post to Instagram and just allow it to post to Threads and Facebook, although it doesn't do Reels to Threads.
No.
Also, on Instagram, and this is a bugbear for me, and it's really winding me up, you schedule posts, you can't add shopping links to schedule posts.
Mm. Why do you schedule them? Because they're supposed to be the best times to sort of put them up, like, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning.
No. I schedule them because I know I won't have time every day to put them up. So I'll edit maybe 5 or 10 videos and then schedule them. Well, I can sit down and edit. A short might take me 20 minutes to edit, if that. All I'm doing is adding my watermark, adding music, fading the music in and out and all that jazz. So maybe 20 minutes, including uploading it to Instagram. Well, I can do 10 of them in an evening while sitting watching a cricket or Formula One or whatever. And then I'll schedule them, and that's 10 weeks worth of content that I don't have to mess around with or worry about. Right. It's there and it's done, it's ready to go. And as I'm doing it on Instagram, I'm scheduling them on YouTube as well. Right. YouTube doesn't do shopping, but Instagram does. So when they do get released, the evening they're released, I go back into the video, edit it, and add the shopping. And the reason they don't allow you to add shopping on a scheduled post is, say I've got one scheduled for 10 weeks' time, that item could sell on the website before the clip comes out.
Yeah, true.
So they don't allow you to schedule it. So
all it means is someone's going to go to your website and say it's sold out, but they're on your website. It seems a bit of a farce, whatever. What time do you schedule yours for, Will? Do you do it at a certain time of day then?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I'm scheduling twice a week on Thursday and Sunday, both at 3:45. Seems to be the sweet spot for me.
All right.
I'm currently knocking out Wednesday 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Midweek home time, and they do absolutely nothing until the following day.
Well, I sort of, on mine, I generally try and do it. I don't schedule mine, so I just do it when, and if I'm doing one really late, I'll sort of wait and I'll sort of do it in the morning about 7:30, and then you catch those morning cup of tea people, or evening around sort of like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. But I don't.
That's where scheduling will be your friend.
Yeah.
Schedule it all the morning rather than having to do with it.
Actually do it, yeah.
I actually think, and I've got no proof, but I think I believe anyway, that the scheduling actually gives you more followers because Facebook or wherever it is knows where it's going to go because it's had the time to think about it.
Right. Yeah.
Rather than just put it out to a handful of people and hope that it hits, and if it doesn't, it flops. And
I'll have to try that.
The problem I found recently with Instagram is the amount you can do at any one time. I think it's 12. You can only use a hashtag so many times in a day. And their algorithm goes, no, too many. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
So I only do. Last upload was 5. So I've got 2 have done, 2 have released, and I've got another 3 over the next 3 weeks. And then I'll do
some. I don't post on Instagram anymore. Well, I every now and again I'll put one in, but
my Instagram's got the highest
deactivate the account. But
yeah, Instagram's got the highest following count. No, that's why you don't answer on Instagram. You don't know.
That is why I'm not very active on Instagram. I'll flick it on every now and again.
Instagram I do a lot with, but this is where it goes back to the who follows me where. My Instagram is mostly fellow woodturners. Facebook is mostly lace makers that follow me and family members. And it's the problem I found on all social medias. Unless you can hit the outside community, most people that are viewing what you're putting out are fellow woodturners.
Yeah.
This is what I found. It's hard to get that to the others, if that makes sense.
But they're the people that you don't want because they're the people that are never going to buy.
Exactly. Yeah. Or you, because you follow them and they follow you.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, they've done the same thing. Hang on a minute. I did that 2 weeks.
More of a community thing.
It is. And I don't, I don't mind that. If anyone wants, if I've done something and someone goes, "Oh yeah, that's really cool," I want to
And
give that a go.
that is how we met, wasn't it?
It is, and I get a lot of ideas from Instagram and things like that. I don't mind that. It's a nice community, but it's free advertisement, and therefore I want it to bring me customers, and that's what it's not doing. I need to find a way of finding customers, and I think that's a nice little segue to move on to what your website did after you complained bitterly. Last time about your website.
Literally the next day after I was saying that the website does nothing, cost me £30 a month, and it literally the next day sold an egg, went over to the US. When we bought it, was delighted with it. So so I lie.
So what's this table you're going to be doing, Gary?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I just I've been wanting to do it for bloody ages and try them out, and just not got round to it. And I thought I got some wood a while ago off somewhere on eBay basically, and I think I'd had a few beers one night and ended up saying, yeah, go on, I'll have the lot, or whatever it was. And some of it was sort of like quite sort of short planks, but sort of live edge and whatever, and sort of sported as well. It looked quite nice, and I used some of it to make a box for a display thing for some crochet hook lady, and then I thought, do you know what, I could use some of that on resin. So I just started looking up about what I need to get to be able to get the polishing right, because that's the key thing for me on all that. And so I started watching it all, and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet and actually do it. So it's just a coffee table. It's about 500 mil square, and initially I sort of like had just the two bits. I made up a former, had the two bits down the side with the wavy bits in the middle, and then I thought, no, that's too wide, so basically I've got another bit down the middle of it now just to pad it out. So then I've just got two bits of sort of flowing resin. And then I've seen on where is it, it's actually, do you know, I think it's Glass Cast resin site. They've got loads of sort of tutorials and whatever's on there, and I was just watching one of those, and I'd thought about this before, and the bloke sort of was banging on about how much resin costs, and to basically to try to save some money, actually, when you're doing sort of like, you know, solid color, actually put a filler in the middle. So literally put a 5mm layer in the bottom, and then whatever your pattern is, cut out a sort of like a plywood blank, if you like, that's going to sort of then sit in the middle, and that'll take up the volume of a load of resin that you don't then have to waste. And then you're basically just having a 5mm sort of border all the way around. Obviously the risk is that when you do sort of start to polish it and put it through the plane or whatever, you're not going to take more than 5mm off and have a great big plywood plank in the middle of it. So there's a gamble.
Do you seal the wood?
No, so basically I just put the 5mm in to start with, and then before it's gone off properly, just put that in with another bit of resin, almost use the resin as glue to sort of put that on the bottom, and then basically put that resin, seal it with the resin around the sides and on the top bit, let that bit go off for 12 hours so it's almost sealed with resin, then pour the sort of like, you know, the top layers in, and obviously the other thing is you've got to have the resin color sort of dense enough that you're not going to be able to see through it as well. And you're sort of like, you know, mixing it, looking at it on your stick, and you think, yeah, that'll be all right, and then you can still see this plywood, and you're going, no, I've only got a few mil left to try and hide it, and I've got all this effort, and I've just got looks like I'm displaying a lump of plywood in some blue surround. But yeah, it's ended up thick enough, which is fine, and you can't see the plywood, so that's ticking a box. So yeah, I'm sort of quite looking forward to getting down to it, but for me to do it properly, because it's so big, I can't get through my planer, so I need to get my my sort of routing sled out really, and that means I've got to clear my workbench, and it is an absolute tip in there, right? And so I might have to wait a little bit till I can clear some of that stuff out, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. Got all the gear. No idea at the moment.
Idea of putting a bit of wood in the middle. I suppose that would add strength as well.
Yeah.
because
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
I mean, you imagine if you're doing a thicker one as well, that gives you even more license to do it, right? And he, the guy when he done it, he was doing the sums and sort of showing you how he done the sums about how much resin it would take to fill it. Then you're doing a bit of wood, and it's sort of saying how much it's saving you, and it does, and ultimately that comes down a lot of money. I think when I looked, deep pour. 12 litre deep pours, which I know is a lot, but that was like, oh no, it was 6 litres was 140 quid. That's like, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So
I need some more deep pour because I've got a chopping board I'm halfway through making, and I just can't allocate a couple of £100 to buying resin for it.
it's bananas. I mean, the non-deep pour I get the German one I've got for ages off of Amazon, and I get 10 kilos for 85 quid, which is bloody cheap.
Yeah, that is good. That is really good.
Really cheap, but
If you're
it's
only
really
doing
good.
5 mil at a
really
time,
good.
you could use that surely.
Yeah, I
doing
did
5
it.
to 10.
Yeah, I did in that one. Yeah, so I've got this other deep pour coming, which I'll. The idea is that I'm using this one as a tester, if you like, and doing all this, and then because the wood I'm using is probably only about 25 mil thick, I reckon. But I've got other stuff that I can use that I can do it nice and deep, which I'll use a deep pour for. But then if this wood bit works, I'll sort of use a bigger chunk in the middle of that.
I'd quite like to do that with my table. I must admit, I keep threatening to do that. What I don't have is space.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So, and I found some, when you go on Facebook sometimes and you'll see, well, I'll get them come up like adverts for sort of Waney Edge timber, essentially, right? And you go, that stuff looks amazing. And you look, and it's in Cumbria or it's in Scotland and all this, right? And then I found one. It's in North Weald. It's up the road, and it's like sweet. So, I'm gonna try and get up there. And there's another one round that sort of way and they say that they take a load of trees down from around London and all that, and sort of like save them, basically just going in to get burnt and stuff. Oh, so there seems a couple up that way. So give it a blast and see what happens.
Yeah. So what are you doing for legs on the coffee table? You got any? You're gonna go old school carpentry, or are you going to find some metal ones off of Amazon?
I might just, for starters, I might just go for the sort of bog standard black metal ones, whether they're either the boxed ones or the hairpin ones, just to cheapen this as well. Like I say, it's more an experiment as much as anything, but ultimately it'd be good if I can actually flog it to claw some of the money back, really, to sort of get some more resin. That's what I really like to be able to do.
Yeah.
My first big resin project was a coffee table, and it was poured as a 7-foot slab, and it was a
bloody hell
big thick bit of yew. Right, it poured 7-foot slab.
How much resin did you use in that?
25 kilo.
Jesus Christ! How much did you sell it for?
I haven't. It's our coffee table downstairs in the living room. It was never up for sale. It was my first attempt at resin, and it was never going to be for sale. It's an absolutely stunning piece of yew that was used. Combination of copper and purple resins because of the colours of the yew itself. And then the legs were the top. So the top being 7 foot, the legs were then 45 and brought down. So it's a continuous.
So like those ones you see goes up and down both sides as well. So it's like flat. Yeah, right. Okay.
Which works perfectly as long as the floor's flat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it wobbles. So luckily it's on carpet. But I need to cut that back. So what you were saying about the polishing compounds, I'm quite interested in, because I need to. It's seen some wear over the last 4 years. And
did you lacquer it?
Never. No, I didn't. No, it was purely.
Are you going to lacquer yours, Gary?
Am I going to?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see what those compounds come out like. But I know you'd said before around like on the lathe stuff, even though you're doing the resin and the flood coats and all that, your favourite finish is the lacquer.
Yeah, I think you should lacquer it. Yeah, because the lacquer is harder than the resin, so it won't scratch quite so bad.
Yeah, and what I've done, like from you saying that, when I done this this thing with paper recently, I lacquered that, and it sort of came up. It came up lovely because what happened on this? This was just like paper, and when I first done it, it looked like it was great, and like the resin had sort of penetrated it all, started turning it, and then when I sort of like got to some of the wider bits, it literally like it was dry paper in there. And it started to flap out, and I was like, oh, thought I was going to throw it away, right? So then I put it back in another little pot, poured another coat of resin around it, and I thought, oh, that will do it. And then it was going well, and I thought, okay, I've nailed it this time. And then got down to another dry bit, and more paper was coming out, and I thought I was literally going to take it off the lathe, right, throw it in a bin, and then I suddenly thought, hold on a minute, what am I thinking about? Thin CA glue, put that on the paper, let that just like sop it up, right? So I just done loads of that, and then obviously sprayed it, flattened it, and then once that had sort of hardened that all up, then I thought, right, now I'll put the lacquer on it, and now it's just like glass all the way around. It works an absolute dream. So yeah, that lacquer is a really good option.
I think I'm going to lacquer the table. I've got to cut it back, but I'm not going to flood coat it because it's too big to flood coat. I'll just end up with a lake.
More expensive. Yeah,
and it is. Yeah, I mean the lacquer is dirt cheap off of Amazon in comparison to another couple of litres of resin that I'd need. I'm trying to get the resin to flow nicely, and
I'm trying different flood coat at the moment. I haven't. I should probably have a go at the weekend. But that's resin simply.
Not on this one. You keep messing up, surely.
No, I'm not touching that again. No, I've got another one that's ready for flood coating.
How are you doing it differently?
I'm not, just different resin. Although there is. So I've been following a guy on YouTube called John Malecki. Malecki.
I've just followed him this week.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Have you watched the Game of Thrones table yet?
No, I heard him talking about it.
Yeah, watch the House of Dragon table. It's kind of recent. That is just he makes that. You know that. I don't know whether you watch Game of Thrones, but you got that table on House of Dragons, the one that lights up with the candles at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
With like the Westeros in there with all the writing on there and what have you. And he recreates that. He's like, it's a work of art. It's a great channel. I've been blitzing it all week.
No way. I'll tell you what I saw on there. Oh yeah, go on.
Anyway, couple of tips. So he does that, and that's why I asked you whether you sealed your wood, because what he does, he takes normal epoxy and he thins it down with acetone, right? And he says that it's like it works like a penetrating resin, so the resin seeps into the wood. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. It's awesome, isn't
it? Yeah.
I have no idea about House of Dragons because I don't watch it. But it looks.
I'll check that out later.
It's great. Yeah, it's a great.
It's a 30-minute video, so you've got to give yourself half an hour.
Yeah, but I reckon I must have done 10, 15 hours of that channel. So I've been off for a couple of days as well. I've just been blitzing it.
So what does he do? So he waters that resin down. Sorry.
Malecki than sort our own podcast out. I'll say how.
Should do. Yeah. So he waters it down with acetone.
Yeah.
And says that's what penetrating resin is, because you can buy penetrate. I've never used it before, but when he puts the initial coat on, it's almost like water, right? And he gets no bubbles or anything like that, and it cures really nice. And so he puts the flood coat on there, and it comes out absolutely bloody perfect.
Oh right, because it's sealed it, and obviously no air's coming out.
Yeah, because he sealed it. Yeah, but whether it's actually like that in real life, you never.
John Malecki is. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He goes through a lot of myths and this is he takes the mick. He's quite an entertaining bloke to watch on Instagram.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
But what he does is actually what you will see. So when you watch people like some of the big table manufacturers, there's a lot of steps you don't see in their videos. And it's things like they seal their woods, because if you don't seal the wood, the resin's trying to get in, especially if you put it look, for a table, the resin's trying to soak in, that's when you're getting these continuous air bubbles.
Yeah.
And that's what can ruin a piece. So yeah, it's always better to seal especially if you're using end grain and your wavy edge and stuff. Give it a seal first.
Yeah, definitely a good channel to go and watch. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I didn't. He's on YouTube. You're talking about YouTube, right? Because
Yeah,
I
YouTube.
followed him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And the reason I followed him, there's another geezer who does tables called Blacktail Studio.
Yeah,
That
Blacktail.
was the guy
Yeah.
I wasn't going to name him, but yeah, that was,
Yeah. And he had this thing where John Malecki is doing these safety glasses. Have you seen
that's
those?
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I saw John Malecki because Blacktail Studios tagged him because he got some of the safety glasses, and he said, "I got these turn up, right?" And he said something about, I don't know how he's doing it, but and what his returns are like, but he's currently doing presentation boxes for these safety glasses. So when they deliver them, mate, he done this box, right? It's a walnut box, and it had these sort of brass hinges in it. It looked just the box looked the nuts, right? And then he'd actually sort of like done their logo on it and all that as well, as in Blacktail Studio. So I'm John Malecki, where is he? Where is he? And I'm pinging him, and to get the safety glasses sent over here was pretty cheap, to be honest, in the big scheme of things. So I'm just going, where do I select the box? Where do I select the box? I couldn't find it. So I'm messaging him about 3 times going, where do I select the box? And he still ain't come back to me. I'm going, I'm more interested in the box than the bloody glasses, mate. But I can't see where to get it.
Yeah, definitely a good job. And that kind of gave me an idea for YouTube because, and you're right. So what he does on his channel, and I think it's genius that he goes and looks at all the TikTok posts about woodworking that have got millions and millions of views, and he tries to recreate them. And I thought, what a bloody great concept, because it's entertaining, and he's tagging something that he knows is already going to work anyway. And I did wonder about doing that for my YouTube. I must admit, it's just taking something like one of Andy Phillips' like massive pencil things or something, and just recreating it and explaining how to do it from scratch.
Yeah.
He did that. I don't know if you've seen one of the recent ones he did about a month ago on that subject. Have you seen the ones where they're putting bowls using the mitre saw? So they're using a lot of cuts on a mitre saw.
Yeah.
He went and did that one. That one was quite a good one as well.
Yeah. I saw Nick Zametti did that not so long ago. I remember him doing that.
What about? Do you watch that or follow that Taco Woodcraft or something like that? Do you follow that one? And he's just and he done that with the chop saw and the bowl. And he's just a lot of his stuff. He's just about new joints and all that sort of stuff that he does, and they're impressive. But it's like, I ain't gonna do that. But every now and again, he does something. You think that could be quite handy, that tool or whatever it is he does.
I follow Dusty Lumber for that as well.
Yeah, I follow Dusty Lumber
because he does.
He's got the monopoly there, hasn't he?
He has when he produces, because he produces these new joints as a little thing, and then you see the construction of the whole table, and you think you've done that joint 10 times, and every single one's perfect. But he's got radial arm saw, mitre saw, Festal sponsorship, building a whole new. He's building virtually a small town through his new house and workshop. It's absolutely massive. But no, that Taku Woodcraft, I follow him as well. He's very, very good. And the other one I watched, Japanese, I think he's Japanese. He produces Super Mario characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see if I can't remember his name. He's very good. Because he's got no proper tools. By proper tools, I mean, I'd use my lathe to do that. No. So he made, the big bullets that are in Mario, the big black bullets.
Yeah. Bullet Bill.
So that's him. So to make one, he made a load of segmented rings, and he did the segmented rings on a mitre saw. And then instead of going, I'll put that on a lathe and I'll turn that. No, he used a sander, belt sander.
Nice. What's he called? I like Mario. What's he called?
I cannot remember for the life of me what he's. I'll find him and I'll take him.
Yeah, Pygmy or whatever.
Did you see that tag I put you in for those acrylic blanks?
Yeah, I pinged him this morning. I tried my cheeky luck, didn't I? Yeah, he had something like, what was it, 140 blanks, like acrylic pen blanks, whatever, and he wanted 240 quid for them, like job lot. And I said I'd give him 180, and he went, no, I'm firm on the 240. I went,
Oh, really?
okay, yeah. I went, okay. I mean, he'd only posted it, I think, yesterday, wasn't it, Mark? I think when you tagged me
He
on it,
posted
it was.
in multiple places.
Oh
I
right,
saw
so
it.
I thought.
Saw it 3 times.
Yeah, I thought, well, at the end of the day, I'll just let it fester. If he's got him, I'll got hold of him still in a week. He might get back in touch with me, and if he don't, he don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
been
I
buying
saw it. I
loads of
just
them
thought
lately.
that's perfect for you for the amount of it.
Yeah, it would be. It would be at the right price. I know it still works out like, about £1.50 per blank.
That's still
What he's doing,
250 quid up front.
exactly. It's still like you still got to pay out 240 quid out of your pocket. So it's like, and I've got shed
Especially when
loads
you're
at the
currently
moment.
buying a ton of resin.
Yeah, I'm buying resin.
It-
I'm buying
it even
polishing stuff. I'm spending silly money at the moment. So yeah, it's quite
Who have
annoying.
you? I haven't seen the list. Do you know off the top of your head what's been going on at Sandon? Who
What
you've
do you
been
mean? What's
seeing?
been going on?
What demos have happened recently?
Yeah. Um, last week. Oh, last week, Gary Rance, Mr. Fruit. He done this week. Not at the club, but I follow him on Instagram. I don't know how he does it. The other day, he literally turned 61 apples and pears. The other morning, he done it.
Really?
In the
It's like,
morning?
oh yeah, in the morning. It's like,
Well,
oh my
it's
God.
repetitism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Repetitiveness.
But he done about 3 things at the club last week. Banksy and nut, one of those, I can't remember what they're called, with the um, uh, smelly stuff, potpourri in a Banksy and nut with a top and bottom on it.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other 2 things he does. This week's Paul Howard again.
Week after that, I think he's made.
They've signed me up to do one.
What do you mean they signed you up to do one?
They've signed me up to do one.
You don't do public demonstrations.
When did you do your first one? You got to do a first one.
Year and a half ago.
They asked me to do it. I said, "Come
What are
on,
you
you'll do it. You can do it." Well, I don't know yet. I'm not doing it till next year.
All right. Do you crochet it with your
Nah,
tops?
no. I've got something else. I'm trying all these different things, and I'll just gradually put them on my list to possibly do. And then when it gets to starting it, I can't remember what date I'm doing. It's April, I think, because he's got most of the year filled already next year, Jeff.
He wanted
So
me to do a year, but a couple next year. I need to talk to him when I'm in there in August because the date he sent me I couldn't do, but he never got back to me. Don't expect he's meant to send an email out with all the correct information on it. He doesn't. So
I see him every week.
I know
So
you do.
I've done it, so it's fine. It's fine. So
I can't.
yeah, but it's going well
when I
down
want
there.
to turn. The reason I was asking is I don't know. I don't want to do something that you've seen recently up there. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Like I say, Gary done a few things. I can't remember what they were. I'm trying to think who else has been there lately.
I clearly remember
Nick.
Nick Hamblin.
Nick Banks.
Nick Agar.
Nick Banks. Yeah, he's the other one who runs it with Paul. He was just doing one the other week. They get him and Paul sort of do fillers really sometimes, when people might blow out or whatever it is.
That's all I do at Chelmer Valley when they can't get someone on a particular month or whatever. I do Chelmer Valley's one. So does Barry when he does his basket weave.
Yeah.
I cannot find it. It's like when he pops up. Next time I see him, I'll ping you in him. I'm thinking if I've got time to practice it, I think I'll do maybe the cup and ball magic trick.
Nice.
because there's a lot of processes in that. Whether I can get one done in 2 hours, I don't know. That'll be a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 hours.
Especially
Demonstrating. Or I might do the plate that won me first place at Chelmer Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the paint splatter. Have you seen anyone painting stuff recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who done the colour the other week?
Nick Ambry?
No. Stephen. He's got his own. He's got his own channel and all that now. He's been. It's only the second time he's been down there, but he's good actually. And
Not Jeremiah, because he's one of your mates, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
I don't think he posted. I think he sent it to me, but he did something in paint recently, and it's just it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
one of the guys who he didn't actually do it there because he went through the whole process. The old water droplet bowl. That's sort of very effective, and he had his one with him again. Oh, I can't see it. Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. Stephen Kerrville. I can look it up on.
Yeah, yes, that's him. I think.
Stephen Kerrville.
Yeah, I think that is him. Yeah. I like them sort of bowls with a colour. So I got who was it? Because whoever it was only a couple of weeks ago. Because I bought some of the stuff because what they'd done, and they was using these spray sort of stains and whatever. So they actually was in little spray things off of Amazon. They're called Distressed, I think, on Amazon. And there's some of them have got the sort of what's it called, like the mirrory sort of iridescent sort of colours in them. And he was sort of mixing up different colours and putting it on, and it was quite effective actually. And then doing all that and then lacquering them and then cutting it back and it looked nuts.
He didn't do that up there, did he?
No, I can't remember. No, he didn't do that the other week. No,
because that's what won me the competition, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was the paint splatters. Made a mess everywhere. He's following me, but I wasn't following him. That's very rude of me. Modify that. Make amends. Yeah, I can't decide what I want to do.
This time next month, I'm doing Monday. I'm going to a course with old Colwyn Way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Taming of the Skew. Looking forward to it actually.
Where you doing that?
I'm down on. No, he's doing one with the old Hampshire Sheen boys, Martin Saban Smith down that way. So it's not like going to bloody Devon, which is where Colwyn's gaff is. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
Did you book that with the AWGB or did you book it direct?
No, it's through Hampshire Sheen. I went to book one with AWGB the other day because the thing is with those, you just make a contribution, right?
Yeah.
Bloody, they're good value, they are.
Yeah.
And I put my name down on a waiting list because Colwyn Way was doing one down in Wales in his whatever workshop thing. He does the what I called the old Nutcracker soldiers, like things at Christmas. And I just looked at the nuts. And it's one of the first things I saw when I first got into this. And I thought, one day I want to be able to make one of those, right? And when I look at it now, I think you should be able to do it. It's just loads of different bits. But because it was an AWGB course, he was doing it. I thought, it'd be cool to do it with him. Yeah. And I put my name on a waiting list because they'd sold out. And then they rung me the other week and went, slot's yours if you want it. But then it was literally like a week or so after the other one I'm doing with him. And I thought, I've got to take a day off work. I've got to get down to Wales. I've got to stay over and all that. I'm doing one a week before. It's like I'll tie another one in with a AWGB because I do have some good ones. And I think they seem to do a lot with Simon Open round this way, don't they? Because he's up Colchester.
Yeah, he's just up the road from me.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there'd be doddle for you to go to.
I-
But then a
I
lot of
need-
them, it's luck of the draw, isn't it? Because some are intimate, some are beginners, some are
Yeah,
intermediate,
exactly.
and it's do you want to do stuff like they're doing?
Yeah.
I need to do the instructors one. Because if you do the instructors course, you go on their lists to go out and do demos and stuff.
Oh, really?
But you do demos anyway. You don't need that to do demos.
No, but some clubs only take AWGB demonstrators. So it would only, currently I've only done Sandon and Chelmer Valley. Although I've said to others that I can do them. I've got one up in doing a demonstration for a lace group in Hull in September, October, one of those two. Next month.
Oh, that's
Sometime.
a trek.
We've already booked in for a lace day, and they're like, "Oh, can you come and demonstrate your lace bobbin to do a talk on them?" Yes. Well, I'm already up there, so it's not that much to take a box of tools, a projector, and a lathe. So, yeah, why not?
They sound like they're in the life of Brian.
They'll be charged for it, so it's all good. £100 for a demonstration for half an hour's work.
Right, I've got to shoot.
Hang on, before you go.
Yeah.
Hot glue and burn story.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I'm interested in what you did.
Yeah.
I feel like I can take the piss.
Realise I'm sitting in the dark. I'm like the milk tray man. Yeah, it was completely idiotic and foolish. So all I was doing, I've had a order to do some coloured pencil candlesticks. So I've been meaning to do them for bloody ages, and when I do it, I glue the pencils in clusters of sort of like of 7, and then basically sort of like put them together as a block, right? And so I had all the blocks of 7, and I was using the old acetate because I thought I don't want too much slack around it, so I want to make it quite nice and tight, and whatever, and get it like that. So, but the acetate I had was not quite. I've got the taller roll, well, a taller roll and a shorter roll. The taller roll wasn't tall enough to cover the pencil, so I got a bit of the shorter one and sort of like stuck that together. So I had a nice long bit like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then I thought, right now, I've just got to roll these little bad boys up in the acetate, because it's all, once you roll it over once in the acetate, and I've done it so there's enough in it, it's fine to keep it nice and tight. So I had my hands over like that, and then I just had the little strip at the end to put the old hot glue run down there like that. And then you even though you've only gone that far, you're thinking already it's going to start go off soon. It's going to start go off, so you're stressing.
Yeah.
So right. So then I just went round the side like that, and I was trying to roll it over. And as I sort of rolled it over like that on my hand, the strip of hot glue, my finger went in it, right? And straight away, it is hot. I know it's called hot, but it is really hot.
Lava.
Yeah.
But the mad thing is, right? You do it and you think, oh God. But if you don't think to rub that off, it gets hotter. and hotter, right?
You end up with third-degree burns, didn't you?
I've got to roll the thing up. I've got to do it. I've got to stick it. So I kept going, and then it was hurting so much. I thought no, and then I ripped the bit of glue off, and it just pulled all the skin off with it as well. And oh my God, it is so painful, and it's like it's been weeping all day. It was weeping all night.
Oh yeah, that's a proper burn.
Oh mate, it was unreal, and it feels like it's literally running like water off of it, and it's not. It's just like the air on the nerve ends or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was. And do you know what? Right, I took. Obviously, I screwed that up completely. There was half a bit of glue gone off and half of it not. So then I cut it all with scissors, took it all off, made a new bit of acetate. Pretty much, almost done it again, right? And I screwed it up again, and I thought. And it was getting late. It was about 11:30, and I was thinking, no, I'm not in the right frame of mind to do it. And then I walked over, and in one of my tubs, I found I'd kept this sort of like little plastic case where I got some pencils from B&M, and I keep them things because they're perfect for it, right? So I just got the block of pencils, bosh, they went straight in it, and I was like, I didn't even need to do the acetate. Oh, burn my hand. Oh my god, mate, it's so painful, and it
Do you
is
want me to
still
send you a
now.
link for some corrugated plastic?
Yes, I do actually. I tried to get some a
Yeah.
little while ago, and I couldn't find it anywhere cheap.
Yeah, no, just off. I think I bought it off Amazon. It's about 12 quid for like a 3 metre by 4 metre sheet.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
yeah.
ping me
I'll
that.
send you a link.
Do they
Yeah.
ship it as a 3x4 meter sheet?
No, they roll it.
It comes as a flying carpet.
Yeah, I just see this Amazon guy walking up to Gary's door in an gust of wind, and then he's not at Gary's door.
Yeah.
Aladdin's here
I
again.
know they roll it. I can't actually remember because I've got it as flat in the garage.
I had a sheet of 75 mil insulation left over, and I spoke to Chris from Club, and I said, "Look, do you need this for your workshop?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you want to come and get it?" It was like, not sure it will fit in the Corsa. He's got a little Vauxhall Corsa. I was like, "No, you're only up the road. Just walk it up the road." And he said, "No, I'll just be flying back down the road," because Chris is not a big lad. He's quite short in the gap, Chris. I just got images of him doing the same as your Amazon delivery driver, just flying off.
Yeah.
No.
Fun.
What is that? It's just what is actually called, Will? Is it? I know you're going to send me a link anyway, but is it corrugated?
I can't
plastic?
remember.
He can send you a link.
It's called something.
Look through your board.
Oh, just
Yeah. that's what I'm
Corex.
looking
It's not
for.
Corex, is it?
It could be.
I can see the aluminium shop, durable 2 mil thick Corex white, versatile and sturdy
It's not
material.
white, black. Now, link coming over if you can see that. I'll just send it through chat.
Yeah, perfect.
And you can get different sizes, I seem to remember. Oh, yeah, I've got it there.
Oh,
it's
yeah, look at that. Corex, yeah, it is Corex, yeah.
Delivered
What thickness do you get? It's in the chat.
2 mil.
Oh, 2 mil's good enough, is it?
Yeah, 2 mil's fine. In fact, yeah, 2 mil's more than enough. I can't remember. It doesn't actually say what size they are, but this sheet are
No, it
massive.
doesn't, does it?
Oh, now it's turned up.
Oh, there we go. 2.4 metres by 1.2.
Bloody hell. £20.40.
I bought one of that. Yeah, but that's 3 sheets. So you can buy one sheet for 12 quid, right? And I think one sheet has lasted. I've got 3 sheets. I don't think I've even got through half the first sheet yet.
And is that the stuff that you use to make your molds?
Yeah.
Because it rolls easy, does it?
Yeah. Because it's corrugated, it's really easy to roll.
It's rigid.
Plus, if you're doing something like a vase and it's got a shape to it, then you can cut the tops and you can squeeze it up.
Yeah.
And then glue it, and actually, it does. Yeah, it's quite good.
Good shout. It's rude to get one when one's 12.26 and two's 16.28. Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, good shout. I'm gonna get all of that right now. 2 or 3.
Well, if you go 3, it's on Prime. If you got Prime, you get.
Oh,
you get tomorrow. And that's probably why I bought 3.
Yeah, and it's only 4 quid for another. Yeah, that's 4 quid. My subtotal, my basket is 229 quid. What the hell? I think the missus has been putting stuff in there.
And
I need to go through and do. I need to go and do a lot of save for laters. Save for later. Save for later.
I've had to buy a ton of 3D printer filament recently because I 3D print all the gates and everything for the extraction system. But I stupidly left when I do shows. I've got 3D printed display stands, and I left that box in the bus. And where we've had such hot weather, they've melted and deformed.
Yeah.
So I have to reprint all of them. And I've been having a ton of problems with my 3D printer. And I've discovered it's because the filament has gotten wet because I've not kept it in vacuum bags.
Oh, really?
So I've had to buy a 3D printer filament dryer. I bought some fancy boxes off of Amazon to store it all in, and hopefully I can actually get some 3D printing done.
I must admit, I was thinking about 3D printers the other day.
They are a nightmare, the bane of my life. Getting consistency from them is just impossible.
Well, I've actually just put a capital request in to get a new one at work in the workshop, so I'm kind of hoping that if that gets approved, I'll use that.
Oh, nice.
A friend of mine, she works for a private school, and she's got a 3D printer. She does cosplay stuff as well, so she's got a 3D printer for that. But she approached her boss, headmistress or whatever, whether her department could have a chocolate 3D printer.
Yeah.
And the woman, her boss, went, "Yeah, it's not a problem at all if it's in your budget. If you can afford it, you can buy one. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead."
Nice.
Even working for a private school, it's not in her budget.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 3D printer printing you chocolate goodies?
Yeah.
You'd just stick your head under it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so. Right, you heading off, Gary?
I am indeed. Yeah, I just bought it. I just bought it. Thank you for that, Will.
And another 200.
Save my fingers, hopefully.
That will save your burns anyway, your 3rd degree burn. Well,
Yeah.
only ish.
Yeah, it can make your life easier, but it won't stop you from burning yourself.
You still need to seal the living shit out of it.
Yeah, well, I try and sort of think, shall I seal my burn with CA glue with a little bit of like rapid spray,
Yeah.
and then it's just layer on layer of wood turning smeg. But yeah. Anyway, right.
Can't do that.
All right, fellas. All right, have a good one.
Well, before you turn it off, Will, I'll do that little thing at the end. If Gary wants to shoot off, I'll do that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, can do, yeah.
Nice one. All right, have a good one.
See you later,
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.